Good morning. Today we will be talking about Saturn ingress in the Dhanistha star from the 18th February to 14th March 2023. The Dhanistha stars, extends itself in at 23 degrees 20 minutes in Capricorn, the two padas in Capricorn and two padas in Aquarius from 0 degrees to 6 degrees 40 minutes in Aquarius. And it is assumed that Saturn in Mars Nakshatra, which is the 10th house of the natural zodiac, Mars is Digbali and Saturn is inimical to Mars. So Saturn is uncomfortable in the 10th house in the Dhanistha star, whereas Mars is very comfortable. Mars is Digbali and Saturn in Mars Nakshatra and Mars joining Saturn on the 27th February is most explosive for these situations, because Saturn will not behave well. Saturn will be uncomfortable. Saturn is patience, whereas Mars is aggression. So there is a fight of powers among the countries. The time frame will be challenging time for Joe Biden, Boris Johnson, Imran Khan, Narendra Modi, Xi and Putin, because this is the 10th house of the natural zodiac and the 10th house represents the head of the countries, the prime ministers, the chief of the big corporate groups, companies and people of repute. The star Dhanistha is ruled by Mars, as I mentioned, and it is Digbali. Here, now 27th February, Mars also joins and there are 5 planets here. The concentration of energy is in the sign Capricorn, and it has been observed that whenever the sign Capricorn is afflicted, because Capricorn is allotted to India by Vrahamira, the affliction to Capricorn and the Taurus Scorpio axis because of Rahu and Ketu, and Venus in affliction because of with Mars, it is time for agony and pain for India, and it is war-like conditions. Let me remind you, 5th February 1962, we had 8 planets in the sign Capricorn and Mars and Saturn were also there. And then on the 20th October 1962, we had war with China. This concentration of planets, and especially Saturn and Mars in the sign Capricorn and Saturn in the star of Dhanistha, is most prone to war-like conditions, and especially it is in the ascendant of China, in the 9th house of India, in the 5th house of Russia, in the 6th house of US, and the head of the countries will be influenced adversely. And it has been seen in the past that India faces border issues because all these 5 planets will be activating the 5 planets in the 3rd house of borders. And to this, fuel will be added to the fire by Rahu aspect on these 5 planets, and then Rahu changing its sign from Taurus to Aries on the 17th March will aggravate the situation, because then Mars and Ketu will be in Kendra from Mars and Saturn, and Mars and Saturn will be degree conjunct on the 5th of April at 28 degrees. Mars will be at exaltation degrees and Mars will aspect Rahu degree wise and Saturn will aspect Ketu degree wise. So starting from 27th of February and then 17th March, when Rahu and Ketu will also change signs, and then the 5th of April is most enigmatic for warlike conditions throughout the world, power struggle. But let me tell you that after Saturn ingresses in Aquarius in the Dhanistha star will be much better than Saturn in Capricorn, because Saturn in Capricorn is also the negative sign of Saturn, and Aquarius, it's smooth Trikona sign, so things would change automatically first after the 29th of April and then after the 18th of January 2023. But friends, Saturn will go in retrogression on the 5th June and then fall back in Capricorn on the 12th July to 23rd October. It will be retrograde and fallen, and then it will become progressive and fallen in the Capricorn sign between 23rd October to 18th January 2023. Now, Saturn falling back in Capricorn is most enigmatic, because Saturn is a planet of discipline, and it will review the situations and influence the head of the countries and people of repute and at high positions. It will influence adversely. And let me tell you one thing, Saturn is also the karka for death, disease and destruction. And when it is fallen in a fallen state, it will be most explosive for these situations between 12th of July to 23rd of October, because it will be retrograde and also fallen. It will be most challenging time for the head of the countries, as I have already mentioned. Maybe it is Joe Biden, Boris Johnson, Xi, Putin and Narendra Modi. So friends, but after Saturn goes in Aquarius, it will be a time for progress. At that point of time, it will be, it is in its own sign, and Jupiter will also be in its own sign, Pisces. So it will be good. And when Saturn does not aspect Jupiter, it will be very good. But when Saturn is fallen, retrograde, Jupiter will also be retrograde, and there will be third aspect in the sign Pisces, and by Saturn, fallen Saturn. So this is a time of restrictions. It is a time for pain and parallel situations. You know, the planetary positions on the 27th of February 2022 are parallel to planetary positions on the 10th February 2021, after which we had lockdowns and surge of the second wave. So we could have parallel planetary positions, like since we have parallel planetary position, we could have similar situations and even lockdowns. And then Saturn is again falling back. So Saturn is karka for disease. So the diseases could surge, they could expand, the virus could expand, maybe a new virus. But Omicron, by and large, as I had predicted, that after the 30th of January, it will start easing, and it has started easing, and the number of cases are reducing. And on 27th of February, you will find the lot of number of cases will reduce. But immediately after 27th, there can be a rise in the number of cases also. And as I've already mentioned, till Rahu and Ketu are in the axis, Taurus and Scorpio axis, there won't be much relief. And comparing it with the Spanish flu, the Spanish flu only disappeared when Rahu and Ketu were in Aries, Libra axis, and they were in their own nakshatras. Now on the 8th of February 2023, Rahu and Ketu, Rahu will be in Aries, Ketu will be in Libra, and there will be exchange of nakshatras. So only after that we could expect a relief, total relief from the virus, and especially after the 18th of January 2023, when Saturn also leaves the sign Capricorn. So friends, we again have a rough patch of time, especially between first after the 27th February, first starting from 18th February, then 27th February, and then 17th March, and then explosion of things, because Mars will activate the sensitive point. Mars is the activator on the 5th of April. There could be unnatural calamities, and especially maybe earthquakes of high intensity, the war-like situations. I've already compared with WW1 and WW2 in my previous articles, and I find that whenever Rahu and Ketu are in Kendra from Mars and Saturn, it's a time for agony and pain. But when they are Mars and Saturn are conjunct with Rahu and Ketu, then the situations are much worse. But the grace here is that Rahu and Ketu are not conjunct with Mars and Saturn. They have a degree aspect on the 5th of April. So things will definitely explode, and war-like situation, terrorism, war-like situations, and the brawl between the nations. Maybe it is Ukraine, Ukraine, Russia, China, India, China, US, and China will be in a war mood because all this conjunction of 5 planets will take place in the Lagna of the China Foundation chart and activate the Mars in the 7th house of wars. And all these 5 planets will be over the natal moon. The mentality, Z will be in a war mood, and it will it can invade the neighboring countries. Maybe it is Nepal, Bhutan, India, for that purpose, Sri Lanka. So this is all, friends. I just wanted to share that the planetary positions, and especially Saturn in the Dhanistha star, and that also simultaneously combust from the 18th February to, from 4th of February to 28th of February, is prone to power struggle amongst the head of the countries, power struggle in the country itself. So friends, there could, and since it is taking place in the 9th house of the India Foundation chart, it could be religious fundamentalism also. But after Saturn goes in Aquarius after the 29th of April, things will be much better, and the infrastructure development, and at that time Jupiter will also be in Pisces. But the time, as I've mentioned, when Saturn falls back, it is retrograde, and aspect to retrograde Jupiter in the sign Pisces is be a extremely rough patch through which the world will have to pass through, and parallel situations like the lockdowns what we have now. Coronavirus will not disappear totally. We can get relief from the oral tablets, from nasal drops and vaccines, but this sine wave like what we have in the stock and financial markets, the sine wave will continue for the virus as well. And I had all my predictions till date, whether it is stock and financial markets, whether it is virus, have proved spot on. Even the dates have proved spot on. So this is all, friends. I just wanted to share that we have a rough time, especially till 29th of April, and after which we have good time from 29th April to 12th July, and then again we have a rough patch from 12th July to 23rd of October 2022, and then we get a relief from after the 18th January 2023 and 8th February 2023 from the virus. And because the situations, the planetary positions are parallel to Spanish flu and exactly almost the same. The only difference is that at the time of the solar eclipse of 26th December 2019, the eclipse had Ketu at the time of Spanish flu in the same sign Sagittarius. Then at the time of Spanish flu in 1917, 28 December 1917, we had Rahu. So we have opposite, but exactly after how many years? 107 years. And 107 years is a multiple of 19, I believe. 19. So friends, this is all I just wanted to share. Thank you very much for listening to me. Please subscribe my channel and have a good day. All the best. My prediction for stock and financial markets is also proving spot on. I had mentioned that first, second, third, there will be a rise in the stock markets, and after that fall from fourth. The fall could be to the tune of 1 to 3%. Let's see how it goes. but after 18th of February, it is most crucial for the stock and financial markets after 18th of February, and then after 17th of March, and then finally before the 2nd of April 2022. Thank you, friends.